الله أكبر الله أكبر.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So the topic today is exemplary Muslim community. And yesterday we listened so many lectures and so many things. So today I thought it will be good if we have a small quiz. So I don't know how many of us are prepared for that. Few questions, not that many. And from those questions, inshallah, we will try to understand what is the meaning of exemplary Muslim community, especially when ICNA has presented its vision accordingly. So I hope everybody is ready. Breakfast was served, I think, in the morning. So no issues on that. I was hoping if some more people would have been here, it will be a little bit more fun. But anyways, what I am trying to do is I will give you few names or few brands, and you tell me which nation or which nationality, which country, which nation, whatever you call it, comes to your mind. Okay? So this is the first one. I don't know how many people can see on the screen. Monish bhai, that screen is not working on the other side. So it's Volkswagen. Which nationality comes to your mind? Germany. So it's very obvious. Okay, let's try another one. Sony. Which one? Japan. Okay, let's try third one. A little tricky over here. Any nation? Trusted. Any name clicks in? Trustworthy person. Wise. What if we make something like this happen? As soon as people start talking about an honest nation, the name that should come to their mind is Muslim nation. As soon as people start talking about a sincere group of people, the name that should come or ring in the mind is Muslims. Can we do it? Or we cannot? This is exactly what we mean when we are saying exemplary Muslim community. Exemplary Muslim community is not the one which is isolated from the society and sitting in a corner having their own masajid only and their own centers where they are having fun in their life. Exemplary Muslim community are those people who live within the society, but they have such strong common values that it reflects, and people outside, they feel it. Anyone know how many expeditions or how many battles were fought to take Islam into Malaysia and Indonesia? None. Why? How those people, like Indonesia is one of the largest Muslim country, how those people received the message of Islam? So the traders used to go, and if you read many books, you will realize that a lot of time when those traders are being presented in those books, historical books, they used to land on the shores during night. And the traders of the land, they used to line up so that before morning, they would like to buy the stuff, otherwise somebody else would have bought them. And the reason was, even during night, that there were no these kind of searchlights and which may blind your eyes. There were no floodlights, on the beaches where people can see and enjoy. Hardly few candles. But everybody knew that these traders, they are Muslim, they are coming in, they will bring the right stuff, they will do the right deal, and when they will leave on the right grounds. And the whole nation is standing over there. Thousands of masajid are there. And if you go, I have been to Indonesia and Malaysia, all across different small villages, towns. And if you walk into an Indonesian village, at one end you will find a church, and on the other end you will find a masjid. And their architecture is so unique that it's very difficult to figure out which is masjid and which is church. So that society never took the architectural style of Persia or Arabs or nothing. They created their own, and they are still, but they are Muslims. Unfortunately, we have lost that kind of link to those values. Anything that is available in the market, and if it says made in Japan, we immediately would like to go and grab it. Why? Because we know that someone honestly did his or her job thousands of miles away to fix that small, tiny component inside, and we are ready to pay the top dollar for that. So if we as Muslims, we realize that, and we know that Allah is there who is watching us, and we know all the concepts of ihsan and all those things, and if we just keep in our mind and do our duty, no one will be able to hijack our religion in the name of Islam by blasting people and killing the innocents. No one would be able to do that. But if we don't do our job, if by showing the name of honest, by showing the name of sincere, the name of Muslim is not clicking in our heads, it's our problem. Something is wrong with us, and we have to figure it out what to do. So, ICNA's vision is we close our eyes and we think, we see, we feel that there will be a time when in Canada there will be an exemplary Muslim community. People will look up and they will say, I would like to be a person like him or her. Inshallah. And we have defined in our vision statement that this community that sets paths towards personal excellence. So it's not like just doing one part. It's a personal excellence in every aspect of our life. And we have heard so many speeches yesterday. Inshallah, we will hear so many today. And this process will carry on. So in all aspects, whether it's a kind of a depression issue that Yasir Fuzaga was talking about, or could be very high level spirituality issues, which we normally listen to our Jummah khutbah, we have to create that kind of personal excellence concept in our mind that we have to keep on improving and going further and further. And the community that shares, this is the major concept, shares. I have the basis, I have the very nice rules and principles to run my family. But what if I don't share it? My next door neighbor is sitting, having problems and having situations and issues, and I don't want to share what I have. So this community would be sharing the basis for moral, social, and economical development of the Canadian society. So this is our contribution that will be, inshallah, going into the society, and people will realize it. But the question is how? These are very nice words. They sound good. You can imagine anything, but how? I have only 5 minutes left, so I will try to wrap up very quickly. At ICNA, we have done a lot of exercise for over the last 2 years. And we have been doing a lot of work in the past also, but we actually revisited whatever we were doing. And we found there are 5 different roles that the Muslim community has to play. There are 5 components of success if we really would like to see that vision a reality. The first is dawah, inviting people. We have to do that. If we say, oh, it's not my job, somebody else will do it, nothing will happen. And dawah doesn't mean that we may go out and start talking to tens and thousands of the people. No, one-on-one. My office colleague, my school buddy, or my I don't know, I'm doing a business and in my area there are some other shopkeepers, so I have to invite people. This is the most important element, the role of da'i. The second role we have identified is the training and development, tarbiyah. Anyone who is a Muslim would require a lot of training in every aspect of his or her life. And ICNA as a platform and Muslim community as a whole should provide and develop all these institutions that may give the right tools, not only for dawah, for everything in life. How to raise children? It's a challenging thing. How to find a good job? How to put the nice dress? How to groom yourself? How to exercise? What are the good things to eat? Think of anything, and we have to have those trainings and development activity going on in our system. And once if we decide everything, we have to organize. So organizing is a very important role. What's the difference between a crowd and a team? In team, everybody knows what they have to do, and they bring the result and they put the ball into the goal. 15, 20 people is standing on a bus stop waiting for the bus to come. Would you call it a team? No. But 11 people playing in a ground, everybody knows what they have to do. It's a team. And somebody is watching from outside, telling them what to do, what not to do. So we have to create this organization. It cannot work. Just yesterday we were talking about that 1 and 1 is not 2, 1 and 1 is 11. Each of us has been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala different skill sets, and each of us can contribute. And there are 3 different ahadith in Tirmidhi which talks about it, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created everyone with a purpose, with some kind of objective. We have to figure it out, what kind of skill set we have and utilize them. Serving. This is a very important role. Again, yesterday, Yasir Fuzaga recited Surah Ma'un and giving a concept that a Muslim is a serving Muslim. How is it possible that we just are walking on a street and we see somebody in trouble and we don't approach him or her and try to help them? We are Muslim. I remember I still like my son, my youngest one, when he was, I think, 5 years or something like that. And we were living in Bahrain. So one day, the power went off. So in my own home, the power was not there. So I just inquired. I found that the person living across our home, he was also not having power. So I talked to the compound manager, and he said that there is one villa available which has some power, so at least you can sleep on night. So I decided, okay, let's go. And while we were moving out, my youngest one, he said, Abu, how come we are going and this our next door neighbor, I don't remember his name, was Charles or Jones, he is not coming with us. Why don't we go and invite him? And I literally stopped over there. Honestly, I literally stopped over there and I was thinking that why this thing never occurred to me? And why our young child is telling me? I said, okay, let's go. We went over there, we banged the door again and again. The poor guy, he came out and we said, we found a villa where we have air conditioning. It's very hot. Let's go and sleep over there. And he was so thankful. He said, no, but I'm sorry. I have 2 dogs and it's difficult for me to take everything into a second place and then we have to do the cleaning. So you may proceed. But this kind of thing should come from our inside when you see things happening around, what to be done and what not. And the last thing is engaging. We are not the people who are disengaged. We have to engage with the society. We have to remain with the society. A lot of time I hear these things. It's good that, okay, we have our masajid, we have our centers, but there are tons of community centers, hundreds of schools around there. We have to get involved. One day we went to in Scarborough, there is a community center, Malvern Community Center. We went there for I don't know whatever reason, but it was a Maghrib time, so we decided to have our Maghrib Salah. So in the gym, kids were playing basketball, and in a corner we started praying. And when I said Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah at the end, I saw 4 or 5 kids in their costume, in their shorts and t-shirts, they were all standing behind me. MashaAllah. Like these were the people, yeah, I've already passed the time. I'm sorry. So these were the boys, they were playing there. And they would have been looking for someone to help them out to find a place to pray. But since we are developing our own basketball courts, who will go there? So we have to engage. We have to be with the society. We have to feel that they are part of us. Their feelings, their anxieties, their happiness, their sadness is 100% similar to how do we feel. We are not superior in any way. Anything happens, we should be standing up and talk about it. So these are the 5 components that we have decided, and inshallah we will be working on it. And we are in a process of creating many activities around these 5 different roles, and definitely we will be coming to the people and asking them to help us out and to contribute. For the time being, there are a few things that I would like to share, like because it's a step-by-step process, slowly and gradually we will inshallah reach to that point. It is not a magic that may happen in one day, but the thing which I have is a Dawah content developer. We are in need of that. If any one of you have this kind of skill set to prepare flyers, posters, handouts, it's an ongoing thing we need always. Create the material for the websites. So sometime it happens that we have a very nice picture, but it's so heavy you cannot upload it, or if you upload it, the website will become slow, or those kind of things. So we need help in that. We need people who are good assimilator, because there are many folks who are accepting Islam, but we don't absorb them. We don't make them feel like we are part of the community. So especially during Ramadan, I tell you honestly, the new Muslims, the Ramadan is the terrible time for them. Because all of us, we go to our families, we have our futur and suhoor with our family, and these folks are individuals. They don't have anything. So we need people who can offer something. They have a skill set. They may please come forward and help us out. We can create programs to assimilate. I don't want to see a Muslim calling himself or herself a new Muslim for the whole life. What's the meaning of that? A new Muslim may be a new Muslim for a day or 5 days, or you don't call a bride for the whole life, a groom for the whole life. So we should be thinking on those lines. Why we don't have all those people who accepted Islam in the last 2-3 years and they are sitting over here? Because we haven't created that kind of thing. So we need help on that. If you have any skill set, please extend your services, and we will try to figure out how to utilize them. Then on the working smart kind of a thing, we need Dawah trainers. We need people who has the training ability, and we have the tools for Dawah. So we would like to merge them together, a good trainer, and if that good trainer has the material that should be used, can be utilized in a nice manner. So we need those people. If you have that skill set, please give us your names, and inshallah we will work on that. We need researchers, because there are new ways and techniques that are coming up for doing Dawah, and we are still using old-fashioned ways. My son on the drive back home yesterday, he was talking to me, he said, I like the talk of that first speaker. I said, okay, why? What's the difference? Yeah, because he was using the same word that we used to talk to each other. And I was thinking, man, I'm using the English. I said, no, you talk English, but the way you speak, the words you use, the phrases, the way you say it is totally different. So this is just one thing which I am telling you. There could be many ways which we don't know. So we need people who have this ability. They can research, they can figure out what are the right ways, what are the marketing tools. They may have some expertise. Please come forward and help us out. We need writers for magazines, for newspapers, who has a good writing skill. There are kids coming from the school, high school, mashallah, brilliant work, but they are writing for some other places here and there. So if they come forward and we have common topics and we start writing, we have our own media team. We can promote their articles to be printed into Toronto Star or some other places. So that way, inshallah, we will create and develop those skill set. We need new books which are relevant to Canadian society. So a lot of material is there in Islamic area, but definitely we need help on that. So these are few things that we are looking for to reach to our goal of a vision of exemplary Muslim community. And inshallah, as we go on, we will keep on asking people, whatever skill set you have, please come forward and bring it, so that we can create different platforms and different mechanisms to utilize them. So with this, I have already taken 7-8 minutes more than what my time was. Thank you very much.